when it's been so long since you filmed that you don't remember how to frame anything.
New location alert, new location alert. I'm going to imagine that this will more likely than not be the final location, but it'll probably change around a little bit. Final location for what? Why have you moved from your bedroom setup? Because I am no longer in that bedroom setup. You haven't seen me in a long time because the past couple months were kind of a whirlwind of events. One of my best friends got married and I was the maid of honor, so that was quite busy for the middle to end of August. And then at the very end of August, I moved. And now I have my own office. It's nice. So that's been a quick catch me up to catch you up. Wow. Love that I'm right back on my inability to talk. Hello everyone, by the way. Welcome back, and welcome me back. Where the hell have you been, Loca? But I'm not here to give an update to the two people who actually care about that kind of stuff. I'm here to talk about writerly things. I actually have a video that I had partially edited in my previous location, which I think that I will do. What do I mean I think I will do? It's partially edited, so I'll finish it and upload it. So there will be one more video back in that location, and then back here. Why am I uploading it instead of just uploading these videos in chronological order? Because I don't want to. Also, sorry if there's a little bit of an echo. This room is quite bare. I did just get a rug though, so the echo shouldn't be quite heavenly voice from above. Instead, it will be more like wayward voice in a parking lot. Anyway, I have two things I want to cover today. One being the omnipresent writing god that is coming to us closer and closer every day. And the second is a series of polls that I did on my Instagram, which is Cass Y Writes, if you're so inclined to follow me in my shenanigans. So who is this omnipresent god that bears down at us with its unending sense of dread? It's NaNoWriMo! I'm actually not that stressed about Nano, if I'm being quite honest.
This was before she took a month to edit this video.
Because I already have my story idea. And I know you're going, already? Cassie, it's Preptober. You should have your writing idea. Well, it don't work like that sometimes. For the past couple years, I might have had the vaguest inkling of an idea before Preptober, but I really didn't have this is what I want it to be about until I was well into October. It was more like an aesthetic that I had an idea of. Maybe a genre, maybe, but now wow, we almost just had a casualty on air, and it would have landed on my laptop, so it would have been two casualties. My Preptober idea is something that 12 to 15-year-old me who holds near and dear to her heart, and that is vampires. I don't want to give too much away because I am still very much in the beginning planning stages, but it is a vampire revenge story. So that's fun. And the main character is the vampire instead of being the human who is like, OMG, there's a vampire, that's crazy, but why is he hot? So I am looking forward to it. I've been writing/editing the same project all year. That project that I announced for last November, Bound, I ended up writing a lot more than I planned, and it took not only significantly longer to write in the first place than I expected, but significantly longer to revise. My process of revision, I think I might have mentioned it before, is that I completely rewrite it for the second draft. I have the first draft up in a window and then a blank second draft, and I have notes down that are like, you need to add this, cut this, expound upon this, that sort of thing. Some lines stay verbatim. Most lines are edited to be more concise, maybe to not be as ugly, whatever the situation is. But for me, that really helps, and my revision is even longer than my first draft. So that's great. I only have about 13,000 words left to revise, so that is super exciting. It's the last 3 chapters of it. So those have been your crash course and updates from me. Now I have some stuff from you, maybe, if any of you who filled out these polls are watching this video. So I planned to do this video a long time ago, like months ago, before I moved. And clearly that did not happen, but I saved all the screenshots from these polls that I posted asking writerly questions on Instagram. One of the things I did in college was I worked in a lab. One of my majors was psychology, and it was all about data collection and running experiments. So data collection is like a fun little thing for me. So I put out 8 questions on Instagram. A decent amount of people responded to them. I think people just like to press buttons, so that was fun. I'm trying to hold this in a way that like you can see me, but it's not blocking me, but I also don't have a double chin, so there's probably gonna be a lot of adjusting, so bear with me. So I'm gonna read you the questions and tell you how people responded, and then also give my thoughts on the particular question, which that's what we're here for, aren't we, for me? The first question that I asked is, do you name your characters before you start writing, or can you just put some placeholder and move on? I have seen some people on WriterTube do this, or AuthorTube. What do people call it these days? I think it's AuthorTube. Anyway, one of them being Kate Kavanaugh, and this is wild to me. I cannot start writing if I don't have a character name because, I don't know, character names are super important to me, so for people to be able to write a huge chunk of their story without a character name, like a main character name, not just like a side, like, person who's on a page and a half and then you never see them again, like a main character name. 64% of people said that the name has to come first, and 36% of people said the name can come later. This percentage was surprising to me because, as I said, this is something that I will not be doing. You will not catch me not naming a character before writing. I got some messages from people who said that as they write, maybe they'll like figure out the character names or whatever, which I think is kind of interesting that it's like you develop their personality and then they develop a name, which I think is kind of cool. The next question I asked is, are you an overwriter or an underwriter? I am an overwriter, as you might have been able to figure out, given that my current work in process is a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I've talked to a couple different overwriters about this, and we all agree that maybe it's just because this is the way we do it, but we feel like it's easier in a way to be an overwriter because you can go back and read when things feel unnecessary, and it's easier to cut down to the allotted amount of words than to need to beef up your story another 30,000 words or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen for underwriters. If that does happen, tell me, what do you do? That's so wild to me. 46% of people said they were overwriters, and 54% said they were underwriters. This slightly surprised me. I figured it would be a pretty close race, but I guess just because of my pool of people that I regularly talk to, I expected it to be flipped. I expected there to be more overwriters. So that is interesting. I think for the next couple, I'm going to give, I'm going to actually like tell you the percentages first and then tell you my thoughts after, because that makes more sense. But I'm not going to go back and re-record. So you get to see me learn in real time. Isn't that great? The next question is, on average, do you read several books a month or 1 or 2 books a month? The majority at 55% was several books a month, and then the minority was 1 or 2 books a month. This one scared me when I asked it because I am in the 1 or 2 books a month literally starting this year. Once I graduated college, I don't know what it was, but my desire to read was just like gone. And I guess that phrasing was bad. The desire to read was there, but like I couldn't convince myself to sit down and read. I don't know what it was, but I'm finally getting back into it, and I am reading about 1 or 2 books a month. So seeing that it was, again, a pretty close split was comforting for me. I've been reading On Writing by Stephen King, and he's like, yeah, I read like 60 to 80 books a year. Like, I kind of wish I could read more. And it's like, boy. Granted, he's a full-time writer, so he has the time to do that. The next question is, are you a plotter or a pantser? And this one surprised me because 35% of people said plotter and 65% said pantser. So I was like pretty floored by the overwhelming majority being pantsers. However, the second question I asked cleared that up. I asked, are you a combination of the two? Are you a plantser? And plantser got 78% and 22% got one or the other. You know, like they're not a combination. They're just a plotter or a pantser through and through. So when I saw that 78 overwhelming majority said that they were plantsers, the other question made more sense. I would say that I'm a plotter leading plantser because I do very much need a solid footing to start writing. I can't just go, I have a concept, run with it. I have never been that way. I tried to be a pantser when I was younger because I thought that was the proper way to be creative, and that's like not correct for some people. So I actually thought I couldn't write any novels because I just couldn't figure out where they would go. It's like, but no, honey, you can plot. That's totally fine. So for anybody out there who is like, I have to just roll with the tide to be creative, that's not true. You can be creative by plotting. I digress. I say leaning plantser because I don't have to have every fine detail planned out to start writing. I have to have, like, where is this story going? And I have to write, I don't know, like 75% of the chapter planning. And then if I find I get stuck, a lot of the time what helps is starting to write, because I personally feel you can't really know the characters until you're writing them. I feel like I might have said this before in a video, sorry. The next question I asked is, what is your strong suit? Is it dialogue or description? I thought that this would be a pretty equal split, but it absolutely was not. Dialogue got 69% and description got 31%. That was pretty surprising to me. I guess, again, because the overwhelming amount of people that I talk to prefer description over dialogue, and I'm the opposite. I feel that I have a better handle on dialogue than description. I do believe I'm getting better with description. For a while it was hard, but you know what helps? Reading. But dialogue is definitely my strong suit, so I'm with the majority. The next question, the statistics were not surprising. I asked, do you caffeinate yourself or do you have a powerful brain that doesn't need it? And 67% said that caffeine is a must, and 33% said not for me. I literally talked about how I haven't had my second cup of coffee, so I'm feeling blah. So you can tell where I fall in this camp. And finally, I asked, do you write with the dream to publish in mind or just for fun? This one is conflicting to say whether or not it was a surprise to me. I guess I did, spoiler alert, I expected the majority to say that they were here to publish, but I didn't expect the amount of people who just say they write for fun. 79% said that they write with the end goal to publish, whether that's traditional or self-published. I didn't ask to specify. That would have been a good question to ask. And then 21% say they write for themselves. So that was a lot more people just writing for themselves than I expected. And go you. It's really wild how in our society we are you have to monopolize on your hobbies, and you don't have to. If you want to write a novel just because you want to write a novel, go for it, man. Or a short story, poem, whatever your jive is. I am in the majority of people who write with the end goal to publish. I would like to traditionally publish. But I really do admire the people who are just writing because they think it's fun. That's really cool to me. So I should have lit my candle for this video. Aesthetic. So that covers my hodgepodge of a video today. I am happy to be back. I like recording videos. This has always been something that's fun for me. A hobby, if you will. Something that I don't monopolize on. However, if it happened, then I certainly wouldn't be mad. I'm excited to be back. I do plan on doing more videos in the future, more regularly. Some vlogs, that would be fun. I like watching writing vlogs, so like maybe you guys would also like watching them. That's gonna be it for me. Let me know if you're planning on participating in Nano. Also let me know how you stack up with the questions that I asked. As I said, I think stats are interesting. So I will be curious to see what you guys think. That's gonna be all for me. Okay, bye. I need my second cup of coffee. I can't function without my coffee. Whoa, stay there, buddy. Don't fall over, okay? Be nice. So I hope you just heard my back crack. That would be incredible. So the first question that I asked is,